So everyone tells you chasing your dream is hard, that it takes years of grinding, years of struggling, and years of sacrifice. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. The real reason most people never achieve their dreams isn't because it's difficult, it's because they're following the wrong path. I used to believe that I had to wait for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or some kind of permission to come out of thin air to tell me that I could chase my dream. But once I figured out what I'm about to share with you now, everything changed forever. So in this video, I'm gonna show you why achieving your dreams is easier than you think, the 3 biggest mistakes keeping you stuck right now, and one of them is a simple shift that makes the process seem effortless almost immediately. The first major mistake that keeps people from their dreams is what I call the forced completion trap. So there's a pervasive myth in achievement culture that says you must finish everything you start. You must stay in your lane and specialize. You must follow linear paths from start to finish. And you must stick with one idea until completion, no matter what. But for creative and multi-passionate people, this approach actually works against your natural strengths. And there's science that backs this up, everybody, and it's very fascinating. So research on creative cognition shows that some of the most innovative breakthroughs come from what scientists call conceptual blending, which shows how our brains naturally combine different mental spaces to create new insights and breakthroughs. And studies of highly creative individuals have revealed that many maintain multiple projects simultaneously, moving between them as energy and inspiration flow. This isn't a lack of focus, it's different. It's an equally valid approach to achievement. So let me share something personal about my experience. On my hard drive right now, I have folders of full projects, full ideas, full courses, and initiatives at various stages of development. And for years, I felt guilty about this because I thought I should force myself to complete every single thing I started in the order that I started it. But then I realized a different way to see this. Those unfinished projects, they're not failures. They're actually what I call testing ground. Each one has taught me something essential that eventually contributed to my bigger vision. The ideas that truly resonated, they kept pulling me back, and that's how I was able to achieve my focus. The ones that didn't naturally, well, they fell away. So this wasn't a lack of discipline, it was an organic filtering process that led me to my most impactful work. When you allow yourself to explore multiple interests, a few things happen. You discover unexpected connections between fields. You develop a broader range of skills and perspectives. You naturally identify which ideas have the most energy and potential. And you build a unique combination of knowledge that nobody else has. The key isn't forcing yourself to finish everything. It's being intentional about the exploration. This connects directly to the science of flow states. Researchers have found that flow occurs when you're engaged in activities that naturally capture your interest and provide just the right level of challenge. And flow often happens when you follow your natural curiosity rather than forcing yourself to stick with something that no longer energizes you. So instead of forcing this linear completion, embrace a test and refine approach, allowing yourself to explore those multiple interests that energize you. Testing ideas quickly to see which ones have resonance and potential. Noticing which projects naturally pull you back again and again, and being intentional about connecting the dots between the different domains. This approach isn't about a lack of commitment. It's about committing to that organic evolution to find your best ideas rather than forcing completion of everything you start from day one. And when you work with your natural creative energy this way, you don't just make incremental progress, you actually create unexpected breakthroughs and acceleration that wouldn't be possible through linear execution alone. Now, the second major mistake creeps in our lives in very unassuming ways. We've all heard the advice, don't reinvent the wheel, follow proven systems, model successful people. And there's wisdom, sure, in learning from others' experiences. But there's a crucial distinction that most people miss in this process. There's a difference between following proven principles while creating your path versus trying to become someone else entirely. Your dreams are your dreams. When you try to force them into someone else's template, you create internal resistance that makes everything harder than it needs to be. This is where understanding your natural energy patterns becomes so crucial. Research in positive psychology has identified something called signature strengths, your natural talents and abilities that, when you engage them, create a state of truly energized focus. Studies show that people who design their work and their goals around these signature strengths are more likely to enter flow states and do so regularly. They're more resilient when facing obstacles. They're more consistent in their progress, and they're more satisfied with the results. Yet, most achievement advice ignores these individual differences completely. Within the Be Something Awesome community, we focus on understanding these unique energy patterns for everyone involved and how they show up in our work and our life. Because some people are designed to initiate and push forward. Others are designed to respond to opportunities. Some need to wait for invitations and recognition, and others need to process through emotional waves before true clarity emerges. When you try to follow a path that contradicts this natural design, you create a necessary friction that makes everything feel harder than it should be. Let's look at the two approaches in detail. So the conventional approach tells us to do this. Find a successful person, copy their exact methods, force yourself to fit into their mold, versus the aligned approach, where we're understanding principles behind success. We're identifying our natural strengths and patterns and working with them. We're adapting strategies to fit our unique design, and we're experiencing flow and momentum. When you align with your path and your natural energy design, you tap into something powerful. You tap into your unique expression. The most successful creators don't become pale imitations of their influences. That's boring. They understand principles, and then they adapt them to their unique strengths and perspective. This creates wonderful things. It creates work that not only succeeds, but stands out because it comes out of an authentic place that nobody can replicate. And the next mistake reveals a massive shift that will accelerate your pursuit of your dreams and do so quickly. It's something I resisted for years, but when I finally embraced it, everything changed, and I'm not lying, it changed quickly. But before I share the biggest shift, let's look at what most conventional success advice tells us. You need to claw your way to the top through sheer effort and persistence. You must collect achievements and credentials to prove to others that you made it. Success requires years of struggle before you can even think about reaching your dreams. You have to pay your dues before you deserve success. That the path is linear and obstacles mean you're doing something wrong. And what's crazy, this conventional thinking stems from something in our subconscious, yet is widely shared across much of the world. It's a limiting belief that our dreams are distant, difficult things that are dependent on external validation. They require work to seize and attract. But this view puts focus on what you lack and what you need to overcome, keeping you perpetually feeling not enough and not there yet. But what if this entire approach is backward? What if the biggest obstacle isn't external at all, but it's the way you're seeing yourself and your relationship to your dreams? And this brings me to the shift that changes everything. You must start by seeing yourself as already having achieved your dreams. That's step number one. And this isn't just visualization or positive thinking. There's fascinating neuroscience behind this approach. Research using fMRI brain scanning shows what happens when we vividly imagine achieving our goals. Our brains actually create neural pathways similar to those that are found in the actual experience. These neural pathways serve as a blueprint that guides our actions and decisions toward making that vision real. Our brains contain what scientists call the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's a filtering mechanism that determines what information from our outside environment that we notice and what we ignore. And when you clearly envision yourself having achieved your dream, you program your RAS to recognize the opportunities, to see the resources and make connections in your world that make all of this possible, things that you would have missed otherwise. When you shift your self-image to that of someone who has already achieved your dream, your brain starts filtering out for different information, the exact information you need to make that dream real. I didn't do this for years. I was so focused on the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be that I couldn't see the path forward. But when I started envisioning myself as having already achieved my goals, not just conceptually, but emotionally, viscerally, internally, everything shifted. I started noticing opportunities that I would have missed before. I saw connections forming that seemed almost magical. Decisions became clearer and more aligned. My actions started to flow naturally instead of requiring force. And the path emerged through not planning, but through more vision and instinct. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this message and what I just taught you because I've lived it. I've lived everything I explained to you. And I'm so passionate about this, and that's why I created the Be Something Awesome community, because within the community, it's a group of people that are pursuing their full purpose and full passion with the goal of bringing your biggest impact to the world, but in a way that reduces friction and maximizes fun. And I lived a life for a while where those things weren't true. I was pursuing my dreams, but it felt hard and it felt full of friction and not a lot of fun. So my goal is to make it possible for you to just get into that flow by understanding your natural energy patterns and your strengths and what makes you unique and bringing that to the world. So if you're interested in being part of the community, you can jump into the description. There's an application there to consider working with us in more detail in the community. So go ahead and jump in the description. And as always, I'm available. I look at all the comments. Get in there and hit me up. Ask me any questions. Thank you so much for watching this video and being part of the Be Something Awesome community. I'll see you in the next one. Later.